So if you're watching this video, you're probably curious about what it's like to give up alcohol for 75 days. Maybe you're thinking about doing it yourself. For me, it was a positive experience, but I'll tell you all about it. So what made me do this challenge in the first place was I was in the middle of a pretty bad hangover, and then I came across this video on Hope Scope's channel. She's a fitness YouTuber, and she had talked about how she had this really great transformation mentally and physically doing the 75 hard challenge. So if you haven't heard of it, it's you exercise twice a day for 45 minutes, drink a gallon of water, pick a diet that you stick with, so no cheat meals, no cake, candy, or anything like that. Read a minimum of 10 pages of a self-development or business book, and you take a progress photo each day. So I did not stick to everything. I did stick to the 2 workouts a day and then no drinking, obviously, but the rest of them, I don't know. I might try it again. I might try to do the challenge again. But it was not easy to drink a gallon of water every day. That's 16 cups. And that was making me sick. So, but that's kind of what made me stick to 75 days. And then also, like, a little while before, I had just gotten out of a relationship and moved across the country. And I think that I was using drinking and going out with my friends as a bit of a distraction. And when you do that and you use something as a crutch, then it kind of stops you from having to deal with it, and then you don't really develop mentally. And so, I mean, I think I've dealt with it a little bit more since not drinking, so that's good. But I genuinely think that I'm over it now after the 75 days. So at first it was really hard first couple weeks because we weren't in quarantine. Me and my friends would go out and we'd still drink, and a lot of the things that we did included drinking, and that made it difficult. So I would go out with them or like go have movie night and stuff, and then after maybe like 11 or 12 or so, I'd feel more like I had to leave because I was the only sober one, or me and one other person, and it just wasn't as fun anymore. Especially clubs, not that fun when you're sober. I didn't really start drinking until I was 18, and I had been going to bars before that. And I was able to do it sober, and I don't know, somewhere something changed, and now I think I could probably do it again sober. It wouldn't be as fun, but I think I could. So at first, I posted in the group 75 Hard when I first started, asking for some tips about like what people did when they first started not drinking, because I didn't really know. Like, that's all me and my friends went out and did. We had like movie nights and taco nights and whatever, but it's one of the main things that we were doing. Then people were rude. Like, some of the people who commented were just saying things like, oh, I'm a musician, so I don't have to drink when I go to bars. And another person wrote how they hated when people posted in the group things like that because there's so many things to do that don't include drinking. So I basically just said, screw you guys, like, this is not supportive, I'm out of here. Some of my friends were very supportive. They were like, yeah, go get it. One of my friends, Kayla, actually said she wanted to do it with me, and she stuck to it for the most part. I think she only had 2 glasses of wine throughout the whole challenge, which is fine, you know, you do what you can. And then I had one friend who said, yeah, right, but girl, it's day 74 and like I think 15 hours, so I did it. But all in all, they were pretty supportive. I realized too that I had so much more energy to do things on the weekends. I wasn't waking up on Saturday morning, letting go of pretty much most of my day until 2 p.m., dealing with my hangover or ordering food in. So that was really good, and I was able to pick up more projects, like working out. I could do my workouts in the morning, and it didn't feel like my blood was made of sand. So some of my favorite parts about not drinking were that I could go out for the night and then come home and still be able to do an at-home workout, which was great because honestly, after 1 glass of wine, I've heard so many times that even just 1 glass of wine can ruin your workout, and a lot of the time I would just not do it at all because I thought that it just wasn't even worth it after drinking alcohol. You find more productive things to do. Some things that I've done are I hosted a paint night for my family, and quarantine has helped us get more creative, obviously, but I've been painting more. I'll put some paintings up here, some of my drawings that I've been doing. Since it replaced it with a little bit of a caffeine addiction, like I take pre-workout again, but I mean, it's not as big of a deal. I don't notice as many bad health effects from my pre-workout as I did from alcohol, so I think it's okay for now. It might be something I might try to get rid of at some point, but it's keeping me going. A huge thing that you'll notice after maybe about a week is that your sleep is so much better. Like, you'll sleep through the night and you'll wake up feeling actually rested. I remember when I was going out drinking, I would wake up and I wouldn't feel relaxed when I woke up. Always kind of felt a little bit groggy. That goes away. Like, you realize that your body really needs some mental, physical clarity to be able to fully rest. Oh, and I think a lot faster. So when I was having wine or whatever, like even just like 1 or 2 glasses every other day or something, it really affects your mind. Like, I can make connections in my mind and think of the things to say so much faster than I ever could when I was drinking. And it's weird. Like, I don't feel like I'm a smarter person. I don't know more, but I can make connections faster and I can read people and read their emotions a little bit quicker. Whereas when I'm drinking, sometimes it takes a few more minutes, or I'm constantly thinking about what word I wanted to use, but now it's easier. I crave a lot less carbs during hangovers, and when you're out drinking, I find that I really love pasta and breads and those things. I'm not a huge sweets person, but I don't crave those as much. And also I've realized, like, fitness wise, that I have less like chunk above my hips. Like, I made a joke earlier that that's where I keep my wine bags or my wine box bags, just above my butt. So anyways, those are pretty much gone, which feels great. I mean, some people probably end up changing their friend groups because of giving up alcohol. I wouldn't do that for myself. I think that it might just mean that I'm hanging out with them in a different capacity. I'm not staying over and then hanging out till really late drinking. It might be hanging out with smaller groups of friends of the same people and going to the movies, or having them come over and making artwork, or going for walks, stuff like that you have things to do that don't necessarily include that. And quarantine's been great for that because everyone's been getting so creative, and a lot of the things that people are coming up with are things that you can do without alcohol. So like making TikToks, or making those coffee drinks with the frothy stuff that I can't seem to figure out. I don't know. If someone asked me what they could do to try and stick to 75 days without alcohol, I would say that it's best to remember the end goal. It's going to feel really good and you're going to feel really accomplished if you're able to do this. Like, I feel pretty proud of myself. You can improve your own self-esteem by doing esteemable things, and do more things that you can be proud of, and then you'll feel better about yourself in general. So this is one of those things that gave me a little bit more self-esteem. I feel great knowing that I can go 75 days without alcohol. Your skin will thank you. One thing I noticed going out was that when I come home, and if I'd been drinking, if I went to wash my face, my skin would feel almost leathery and just not nice. And I haven't had to deal with that at all. Like, my skin feels really, really good. So that's a bonus. And the thing is, if JLo can live without alcohol, I can too. And her skin looks great. She also gave up caffeine, which I don't think I'm going to do anytime soon, but my skin feels fantastic and my body feels great. Working out, I don't get a sore, like not even nearly a sore. But it was a really positive experience for me, and I hope that if it's something that you want to try, now's a great time because no one's inviting you out to the bars. And I mean, alcohol is fun, but in moderation. I think I've reset myself to like a base level so I can go out and just like have 1 or 2 glasses of wine. At midnight tonight, I might have 1 glass, and then I might even do another 75 challenge. I might actually try and stick to it this time, just with less water. But I wish you luck on your journeys. And if you want some advice, shoot me a message. I'm happy to tell you about it. If there's anything I left out of this video that you think I should mention, let me know. But feeling pretty good.